We are live.
And we're live. Hello, Rekin Krew. I am Shooey from PowerOnVR. He is Mac from Mac In VR. We are the Virtually Rek't podcast. We have our drinks. He has his wine. I have my, well, different tonight, not beer.
Oh.
But we're talking VR.
We are.
Mac, how have you been?
I'm good. We had the Pico Neo 3 launch since our last podcast, and we had the Metagaming Showcase, which
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so much fun. We've got a load of things to talk about. So, I'm excited.
Where do you want to start?
Well, we've got to start with what you're drinking, because you're not drinking beer.
I am not drinking beer. I haven't even poured it. I'm going to pour it in a second.
Oh, cool.
I decided tonight was a rum night. We are on the Kraken. We're on the Kraken.
Oh, God.
It's that kind of night.
Well, you got Atom and we got Rift Traveller in the chat. Hello, guys. How you doing? I am going back to a perennial favourite, which is my Silver Mackie, which is a very nice Australian Sauvignon Blanc.
Awesome sauce. We've got Rupert Clayson in the PowerOnVR chat. Hey, dude.
Hey, Rupert.
How's it going? There's your shout out, buddy.
Got Green Gamer Guy. Just so you know, Meta Oculus devs are waiting 4+ months for App Lab approval, so a lot of games still not yet due. All right, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Sorry, I've got my light.
Hey, you say that. That's quite interesting because the Cactus Cowboy, the new Cactus Cowboy game, I think the developer was expecting it to last a lot longer before it got into App Lab, and then all of a sudden,
Boom.
click, he was just on there. So like he had planned to have maybe 4 to 6 weeks
Yeah.
of sending it out to different people, and so that they could, so that they could have a look at it and then get some reviews ready for the release day. Nope, just went straight through. Maybe it was because he has a history, obviously, of having several different games already on there.
Yeah.
So that might have made a difference.
Yeah, he contacted me this week and sent me a key, so that will be getting played and reviewed, because it's Force Tube and Provolver and bHaptics compatible, isn't it?
It is. And you know what I realised when I went to go and have a look at it today? I realised that seeing that I'm now running the PC, it doesn't have inbuilt Bluetooth, which is a little bit of a problem. Because I threw away the little dongle.
You bellend.
Well, I was using a laptop. Laptops have built-in Bluetooth.
Yeah.
It's been really easy to sort out. So, yeah, bad shout on my end. So I'm gonna have to order another one, unfortunately.
I've got about 10. I can send you one. Honestly.
Well, say that. I'm coming to see you in 2 weeks' time, so
Yes.
I'll grab one off you then.
Yeah. Every time ProTube send me something to test, they also send me a Bluetooth dongle. So I've got a shelf for them. So don't worry. Yeah.
Awesome.
Right, Green
Awesome.
Gamer Guy. History helps it. Obviously, pick favourites. I submitted my app. They wanted a single word change on store page. Been waiting since Feb. My God.
Wow.
Bloody hell, Green Gamer. That's
Wow.
bad. Well, give a shout out to
that
your game, and
sucks.
we'll. Is it on? It's on App Lab now, and you're waiting for it to go. No, it's on SideQuest now, and you're waiting for it to go to App Lab. Is that right? Anyway, we'll get back to that. Metagaming Showcase.
Metagaming Showcase. It was a thing. It was a real thing.
It was.
I was kind of blown away by it, as I know you were.
I was. So there were 12 games featured. Only 2 of them were current games which had updates, which was Beat Saber and Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries. So we had 10. We had 10 games. I mean, some of them we did know were going to be there, like Cities VR. But some of them, and there were some notable absentees, which
there was.
We'll talk
there
about
was.
those. I'm just making notes, sorry, so I don't forget. So what was your standout? I think I already know this answer.
Oh, So it probably has to go to Ghostbusters, despite having so little information. Like even if you study frame by frame everything that's going on in that trailer, there is so little to take away from it.
Yeah.
Like you can make some speculations. Like we're speculating that that there's going to be 4-player co-op.
Yes.
We're speculating that there is going to be some form of skin customization.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's basically
We're
it.
speculating there's going to be more than one ghost, if I'm really honest with like how much we actually know.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to have the iconic ghosts from the original for the original Ghostbusters.
If we don't get to take out the Marshmallow Man, then what is even the point of this game?
I know. It's sorry, I'm shifting around in my chair. Oh, got unfocused. My brio's getting me. Yeah, it's a strange one that.
What was yours? What was your standout?
Like my standout was Ghostbusters. Because obviously just purely from the reaction. We need to list the other games that were in it. So there was Cities VR. Oh my God, you're trying to make me remember 10 games when I can't even remember his own flipping name sometimes.
Yep.
What I need to do.
Oh shit.
Yeah, hold on.
Obviously.
Hold on. Just I can quickly solve this problem. Just give us 2 seconds, people. We are professionals.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
Right. I'm going to my Oculus showcase. There it is there. And then we're going to I've got a list of the games that we talked about in the order they came out. Right. Okay. So we had NFL Pro Era. Now you're wearing a Raiders cap.
I am. Here's the thing though. I'm not a huge, when it comes to gaming, I'm not a big fan of sports. I never have been. Like, I've never been the guy to play NBA or FIFA or anything like that. It just doesn't interest me. It never has.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that I would be that interested in VR. But seeing that game, I really want to play it.
Yeah, it looks so good. I mean, you're sort of living off your old NFL Madden sort of fantasies, aren't you?
The thing is, right, this is the thing that really gets me with that, is this is a game that came out of complete left field, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't know about it. We hadn't heard anything about it. And then it just appeared. According to what we're going to be able to do, we are going to be able to have the choice of not only player, but every single NFL team to play with. That means they have the rights to use all of those teams, logos, names, everything.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is. I mean, I don't follow NFL at the moment. I used to be a big fan when I was a kid, but I mean, that guy, he was obviously a very famous NFL quarterback, and the kid put his headset on and goes, "I can be whatever his name was," and I was like, "Yeah, they're going for it. That is a proper fully licensed." And then if it works, you might get annual updates.
I really hope so. The thing is I think they've put a lot of time and, more importantly, an incredible amount of money into this.
Yeah.
Because like the licensing alone is insane amounts.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, that's probably why it was front and center.
Yeah, quite possibly because they've already spent the money on the licensing and they need to be straight in, hard hitting.
Yeah.
They need Meta to be pushing them as hard as they're going to be pushing themselves.
Yeah.
In order to see some sort of return on that. I would love to see the numbers.
Yeah.
The numbers of money on that one.
You think about every single American football fan who's got a Quest 2 is going to buy that. Like without a doubt.
Hope so.
Yes. So do I.
Because I want to see more entries into the Oculus library, the Quest library.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to give a quick shout out. Green Gamer Guy. He said his game is called Backyard Archery VR, and it's not on SideQuest because he's waiting for App Lab approval.
Okay.
So if you keep, so Green Gamer, if you go on either my Discord or tweet me. It's Mac In VR on my Twitter. So when you get approval, tweet me and we'll feature your game on the channel. And PowerOn will do the same.
Alternatively, if you want to send us the ADBs, not the ADBs, what's the
APKs.
What's the Android APKs? We're more than happy to give it a go, my boy. That'd be fun.
Yeah, so in my chat, I've got Space Denizen, I've got Surjical Gaming, who is absolutely gutted that I've sold my index. So he keeps going on at me about it.
Would you like to explain yourself?
Right. I love my index. I do. I absolutely love it. I'm getting ready for the next slew of headsets. I think I'm pretty sure that Pico. Well, this is another subject. I'm pretty sure the Pico Neo are going to release a headset very, very soon that isn't the Pico Neo 3. I think that Valve are going to release the Deckard. I think that Meta are going to release the Project Camry, whatever they're going to call it. So I wanted to sell my index before it lost value. And yeah, I've had it for 2 years and I sold it for £700. So I've had 2 years of wonderful indexness. And I only lost £200.
I, obviously having bought this new gaming PC, it feels a little disingenuous to still run it with a MetaQuest 2.
Yeah.
But realistically, at this point in time, in order to really do it justice, I would either have to buy a Valve Index or something a lot more expensive than that.
Like a Vario Aero. Yeah.
Exactly, right? And let's face it, we already know that there is new hardware coming out over the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah.
So rather than, because I was very tempted when you told me you were selling your index, my brain instantly went, ooh,
into mad maths
maybe
mode.
I should buy that. But no, luckily logic won over and said, if you just wait just a little bit longer, you will be able to have something that is far superior.
Yeah. Now, I'm not, like, the index, in my opinion, unless you spend a lot more money, is the best consumer VR headset on the market. Premium consumer headset on the market. It's brilliant. The tracking's great. Screen's great. FOV's great. You can run it at 144 hertz. So if you're playing competitively like Surjical does in Pop 1, you know, running at 144 hertz is going to make a big difference competitively. You know, any gamer who's worth his salt will know higher refresh rate, higher frame rates gives you an advantage. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Meta Gaming Showcase. I'm sure we will get back to that because I actually have it as one of my things I would like to talk about. So, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry for the by. Oh, I'd like to point out as well that I listed it on eBay and it was sold and paid for within 10 minutes.
Pretty impressive.
So that is how much the Valve Index is in demand. So maybe Surjical will get off me back now.
I wonder what you could have ended up selling that for. If you were to go back now and stick it for 750, do you think it would have sold straight away for 750?
Oh God, the guy bit my hand off down to my ankles, mind. He was like over the moon. He said it was like such a bargain. Surjical says £50 donation if you cancel the sale on eBay. It's gone, mate. It's gone. Sorry. Right. NFL. Meta Gaming Showcase. The next game to be debuted, which I actually predicted, was Aspire 2.
Yes. And I am very hyped for that one.
Yeah. You never played the original, though.
I didn't, but it looks good. Yeah. I like the look of the mechanics, and it is looking like we're getting co-op.
Yeah. Though, strangely, if they actually said that you can play co-op on the original Aspire 1 levels. They never mentioned Aspire 2. So whether that's going to be... Maybe they've been working on Aspire 1 co-op and just thought, fuck, we'll port it to Aspire 2. And Aspire 2, they're working on the co-op. Because obviously, if you have co-op, you have to work maps differently, don't you? So yeah, co-op. Oh, Aspire 1 was so good. It's one of those games I played and then completely forgot about. But it is so good. It is so good. Next one on the list, I'm going to leave for you to describe because I know it's one of your favourites, and that's Moss Book 2.
Yeah, so I am very surprised that Moss Book 2 is coming out as soon as it is, from PSVR onto Quest. I think if the PSVR 2 was already out, I don't think we would be seeing this port as quick as it has been. I think they would have pushed really hard for that to have been sort of one of the day one options for the PSVR 2.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
it is a really nice game and it covers all age ranges.
It is. I mean, that and Lucky's Tale, I think, showed that you can do 3D platformers in the Mario style in VR. And I'm really looking forward to it. Just more Moss. That if anybody just said to me, "Oh, it's Moss, but it's just more Moss," I'd have been like, "Yeah, sold, fucking sold."
I was so happy that they did the really silly, like Moss was on the table, Quill was on the table
so
speaking
good.
to her. It was so endearing. I was so happy about it.
It was so clever.
I don't know what more I could have wanted from that particular announcement.
No, it was so good. I'm in love with Ruth Bram as well. I think I'm really jealous of her hair. Right, the next one is more of your more you than me, and it was Runes Magus.
Yeah, so Runes Magus.
Runes Magus.
I say Magus. Whatever. Magus. If we want to go super wrong on there. So yeah, Runes Magus. If you're into JRPGs, I think this is a 100%. You have to play it. If you own a VR headset, specifically the Quest 2, obviously, because that's what it's coming to.
Yeah.
I said when we did our showcase live that I have tried the tech demo for that game, and it genuinely feels fantastic.
Right.
However, I did also say in my YouTube video last week that I didn't think the combat actually looked all that great. So the story would have to be amazing if the combat is bad.
Yeah. So it's not as visceral as something like Zenith, where you're actually getting stuck in.
Yeah, it kind of looks more like you're just sort of throwing stuff, like you haven't got like guns or a sword or anything. It does very much look like you've got a shield and you're just sort of throwing spells, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I quite like the idea of being a wizard, but even so, it didn't look amazing to me. But the rest of the game, it felt kind of like you were in a mix between standing in an anime and standing in Van Gogh's Starry Night. It kind of felt like a mixture of those two things.
Right. When I saw the trailer, I don't know if you've watched Arcane.
No, I haven't.
What? You haven't watched Arcane?
I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't have time for a lot of TV.
Oh my god, dude. Right, so anyway, the art style reminded me of Arcane. And if you haven't watched Arcane, go and watch Arcane. I can't remember if it was on Amazon or Netflix, but it's just absolutely the best animated adult program I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. Anyway,
just so that we're clear, right? You had your hands on head like Shooey. How have you not seen Arcane? This is from somebody that is entrenched in VR and until recently hadn't watched Sword Art Online.
Yes, I've started though.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I'm just gonna. Green Gamer Guys just made a comment and he said, "Lol, working on Moss in a new third-person game I'm working on."
I wonder if he means actual Moss.
Are you working on a Moss style game or are you actually working on Moss? Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to that. So
yes,
I'll wait for Green Gamer. Oh yeah, Rift.
Yeah, no, Void Mantis. I will go and watch Arcane. I will find time for it somewhere.
Dude, what? I'll tell you what happened to you, right? And this is, you said you were going to take some time off so you can play Lone Echo.
Yeah.
You'll lose the first aid when you watch Arcane. You'll watch.
Okay, deal.
I will do.
That's what I'll do. I'll try and get rid of the kids, or I'll take off in the camper van somewhere, and I will just watch Arcane back to back, snacks, beer, somewhere to go to the toilet, and then just Arcane back to back.
Yeah. You'll know if you're going to love it within the first 5 minutes. Yeah, I did. Okay, then we have Cities VR, which we knew about, and I'm quite excited for that. Then they had Among Us, which we talked about on the podcast, not the podcast, the live reaction, and we think that's going to be a content creator's gold mine. Because
here's the thing, right? So many people on my TikToks, and because I've been banging on about Among Us on my TikTok for a good few months. So many people's reactions to it is just, you can already play it in VR chat. And it's like, congratulations. Well done. Yeah. I know you can play it in VR chat. I've seen it in VR chat. I've tried it in VR chat. And it is good. It's not great. And I want the true, authentic Among Us experience. And that is what we're going to get, because it's just made directly for it. And I hope that's what we're going to get, at least. It is possible that the community knows better than the developers.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, I'm excited for it. The next one was almost my answer when you asked me what I was excited for. I'm just drawing on my fingers. And that was Red Matter 2.
It's that moment, isn't it?
It's that Half-Life Alyx moment where he sweeps the stuff off the table and then does like the gravity glove grab. And I was like, what? What? So, yeah, I was like, I mean, admittedly, afterwards, they admitted that was PC VR footage.
Nearly everything in the showcase was PC VR footage, which is kind of insane. Because it is a Quest, it's just pure Quest. It's pure meta gaming showcase. Why that they don't have anything really these days to do with PC VR?
No, they don't. I mean, Lone Echo 2 was the last game they released on PC VR, and they did not advertise it, and you couldn't pre-order it, and it appeared on the Oculus store at 6 p.m. on the Thursday when it released. And it was my game of the year last year.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Yep. Right, okay. Red Matter 2, very exciting. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Retribution, which is the sequel to the original Walking Dead.
Also very exciting.
Oh my God. That, if I'd have done a best of in 2020, that would have been my game of the year. Because I played the shit out of that. I loved it. Sorry.
I think I'm going to stream my entire gameplay of Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. Just because it's such, like, if it just has to be Saints and Sinners 1 with a slightly different story. Like the fact that we're getting a chainsaw, which I am happy about.
But it didn't show it. I was reliving my Gears of War's moment there.
I hope they do something where there's, at least on PC VR, I understand if it's not going to be on Quest, but I really want to see blood splatter lines come straight across and up onto the walls.
You could chop the heads off the zombies, you could chuck the arms and legs off the zombies, but I want to see the full straight through the torso. Yeah. Gears of War style. Even though you haven't played Gears of War because you're a peasant.
It just doesn't interest me, man.
This hurts us. This hurts us. Anyway,
I was well into PC Master Race when Gears of War was being a thing. Yeah. But anyway, okay. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Right, so the final one, we've already talked about Ghostbusters and how that was our game of the showcase. So the last game we're going to talk about is Bone Lab. So I would like to put my hat in the ring here straight away and say I thought Boneworks, I didn't enjoy it. I thought the story was terrible. The physics-based body thing made me feel sick. And I've got really strong VR legs. Sorry.
Okay, so that's your take, right? You didn't really enjoy it, and it did make you feel a little bit sick. Fair. Boneworks was the first PC VR game I played.
Okay.
And I was playing it on an okay laptop at the time. So, and this is the thing. To begin with, the tutorial in Boneworks, I think, is still one of the best VR tutorials in a game to this day.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic. And the way they showed off the physics of everything was absolutely fantastic. I really liked that it felt very Valve-esque.
Yeah.
The story, I enjoyed some of. I liked the mystery of MythOS. I liked that they brought in actual, like, real life actors into the video clips. I really liked that. I liked that they were trying to bridge the idea between the real world and the virtual world. Like, the idea is that you were in a virtual world within your virtual headset, and you were still looking outside into the real world. And I really loved that idea. It was very meta. I loved it. However, it was boring as fuck at the end. It was so fucking boring, and fight me about it. Fighting Ford at the end. I spent 10 minutes smacking that guy in the nuts, and I was bored stiff.
And then you had the giant ladder.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about the giant ladder.
The giant, janky fucking ladder that took me 20 minutes. I actually nearly didn't finish the game. I thought there was going to be something really interesting at the top. So I was like, they can't have just done this for a reason. There must be, like, building hype for what you're going to see at the top. So I spent time climbing that fucking ladder, fell off so many times because of the janky...
Okay. I didn't ask you this off stream the other day because I wanted to ask you specifically during the podcast, right?
Oh, God.
Did you climb the entire actual ladder?
Yes. And do you know how shit? Do you know how shit it was? I can't even remember what happened at the top.
Nothing. Nothing happens at the top.
Exactly.
You go for a door. You go for a door after you jump up onto another ladder using a crowbar. Like that. That was pretty much it. But you don't have to climb the whole ladder.
That's half an hour of my fucking life was wasted in that. And I actually, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Boneworks, and I wasn't having the best time ever.
No.
So this is the thing, right? So Walking Dead Saints and Sinners did the whole body, elbows, wrists, legs, my physics thing. And I thought that worked really well because
it did.
When you had an axe, if you held the axe, like the fire service axe, if you held it with one hand and you tilted it forward, you kind of did this, which is realistic because you couldn't hold a fire axe in your hand with one hand. If you held it with two hands, it was good. The two-handed weapons, they had weight.
Being able to actually demonstrate weight without weight.
Yeah.
I was truly, like, it's becoming less, I'm becoming a bit jaded to it now, but trying that would have been March last year that I played that.
Yeah.
I was like, I was just like, because I picked up the axe and I went to go and swing it, and it was wobbling about all over the fucking place. Yeah. And I was just like, this feels like it has mass.
Yeah.
My brain is being tricked into thinking this has mass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it has variable mass.
Yeah.
Like, part of it is wood and the top of it is heavier.
Yeah.
It has that is fantastic.
If you held it at the top of the shaft where the actual axe head was, it was like you could use it like a hatchet.
Yeah.
But if you held it at the bottom, it was like, ooh. Do you think when Valve made Half-Life Alyx that they considered at some point doing full body physics?
100%.
Yeah. And then they looked at it and thought, no, that doesn't fucking work in VR.
Yeah.
So you got the gravity gloves.
Yeah. And it worked. It worked really well. Like, yeah, fair enough. There's an argument to be said that it doesn't quite give you that full immersion feel because you can't see the rest of your arms. No one gave a shit.
No, I didn't.
Because they were playing Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah. So there's two really good examples of like the gloves versus the full body. Like Walking Dead is, I think, the best full physics interpretation for me. Half-Life Alyx is the best. We're just going to give you hands. Sniper Elite VR did it really well as well, because if you held a long rifle in one hand, it dipped, and you had to hold it with two. That was fair enough. Sniper Elite was very good. The worst gloves and hands is Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, because it spoilt the immersion because you had the syringes on your wrist.
Yeah.
So whenever you moved your hand in front of your face, you saw these 3 fucking syringes. And I was like, can you not just put them on my chest or somewhere where I'm not going to be looking all the time? It was, I fucking started on Medal of Honor. Fucking.
We don't need to get started on Medal of Honor. The game was absolute garbage.
Right, we've got Alex in VR has joined us. Hello, Rift Traveller. Anybody in your chat we can shout out for?
I think I've only got 2 people in my chat at the moment, actually, which is Rupert Clayson and Void Mantis.
Hey,
so
Rupert.
thank you guys for being there.
Right.
Oh no, I've got 6 watching, but only 2 in the chat. So
shout out in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Get involved, guys. If you want to ask questions, feel free. We will try and answer as best we can during the middle of the jibber jabber.
In the jibber jabber, crazy fool. Okay, so we're still talking about Metal Gaming Showcase.
Actually, I think we still need to talk about Bone Labs.
Okay, yeah, carry on.
Because we've spoken about Boneworks a lot, and that wasn't actually a part of the showcase. There's been a lot of people on TikTok, on my TikTok in my videos, having a big go about, because they don't realise when I say Bone Labs that I'm talking about Bone Labs, not Boneworks.
Yeah, exactly.
And there is a lot of confusion because
it's a separate game.
It is a separate game, but here's the question: is it a sequel?
Right.
Is it still in the same universe?
I think it is. Yeah. Because we saw.
So they're the two. They're the 2 big ones.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. So I'll answer your. It's in the same universe because you saw the drones, you saw the hollow guys on the hollow sort of space hopper things, which is really cool when he smashed that guy's mask off. Mind. That was cool. They have stated it's a separate story. So it's not Boneworks ported to Quest 2. Bone Lab is a separate story, and it is releasing on PC VR as well.
Yes. This is it, right? The only question we don't know, because it's obviously in the same universe because you saw the MythOS logo.
Oh yeah.
So it's in the same universe. It's in the same sort of style and whatnot. It is definitely not the same game. Like, there is no point where you see bundles of skeletons and shit in Boneworks. That was a dead giveaway straight away that it is not the same game. It's not just a port. They're not just renaming it in the similar way to Blade and Sorcery, renamed Blade and Sorcery to Nomad.
Yeah, or Zero Caliber to Zero Caliber Reloaded. It's a port of Zero Caliber, but Bone Labs is a separate game in its own little in the Boneworks universe, because there is a point where you actually see you're in the room, obviously, where you start, and it has sandbox, and you see the various things that you can do. There's one really interesting bit at the end though, where he puts his hands. There's like a narrow slot.
Yeah.
He puts his hands and he looks through, and you can see Boneworks logo. So I'm wondering, are they going to give you the Boneworks content in Bone Labs on Quest 2?
Ooh, I hadn't considered this.
You see, that's because I was watching it a bit too much, to be completely honest.
I hadn't considered that. I just assumed that they were going to give you the Boneworks assets.
Right.
Because it's in the assets box, isn't it? Like the collectibles box. So that was my assumption. They were just going to give you the assets.
No, it's just right. If you watch the trailer, right at the end, he walks towards a steel grate with the black and white sort of warning tape on it, and there's a small slot, and he looks through, and you see Boneworks in the background. It's just speculation. I don't know. It's not.
Void Mantis in my chat says the ladder will return.
Oh, fuck. Actually, Rift Travelers...
If there is any point in that game where there is a ladder that long, that is the point I uninstall that game from my Quest.
Brandon, if you're watching, no fucking ladders.
No, little ladders. I don't
Small
mind
ladders.
You playing with the physics and getting us to use crowbars to get to the ladder. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. Just don't make me climb for 10 minutes, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Rift Travelers just made a good point in my chat, and he said that Alex didn't have melee, which I think, yeah. I would like to have run up to a combine, punched him in the face, nicked a grenade, pulled the pin, dropped it, and run off. Yeah.
That would have been sweet.
That would have been sweet. We might get it
Just
in...
wanna...
Sorry.
No, just wanted to shout out to Samson I want to say Egelman. Hey, dude, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. What were you saying, sorry, Mac?
Right. Are we done with Bone Lab? Or are we going to...
Yeah, we're done with Bone Lab.
I'm done with... Right, so we're still talking about the Metagaming Showcase. What was missing?
There was tons missing. There was ridiculous amounts missing. There were games that we know are coming out that were missing. There are games that we assume are coming out that were missing. And because we've had a confirmation, there was definitely a gap. Like, I'll let you carry on from here, but I just want to. If they pointed it out in 2020 all they had was a picture.
Yeah, I know. Right, before we get to that, there are two games which we knew were coming out, which was Into the Radius, which is a very, very highly rated Steam VR title. Basically, if you don't know what it is, it's I hate to use simplifications, but it's basically Stalker in VR.
It is Stalker in VR.
Yeah, and it's really highly rated on Steam VR, and it's coming to Quest 2. They didn't announce it. There's one of the highest rated Steam VR games is called Compound, which is like a really canny looking retro shooter in the sort of Doom Quake sort of pixelated old school 3D, and it looks amazing. That's coming to Quest 2. They didn't announce it. I think there was a 45-minute time limit.
Why though?
I know, because we'd have watched an hour and a half of that shit. I'd have watched
2 hours of that shit easily.
I'd have watched an hour and a half of Ruth Bram just walking around in the Quest 2 environment with her lovely hair.
There is something to be said for short and sweet. There is definitely something to be said for that. Like, as content creators, we know this. You don't want to go over certain levels of minutes with videos unless it's specific type of videos. And it makes sense. Like, you do get more people watching, you get more people engaged in that first X amount of minutes. So it is possible that they did the research and they said, right, we're going to do a 45-minute showcase. What can you fit into that?
Yeah. Yeah. But the 2021 Oculus gaming showcase is 45 minutes long, and it had nothing in it. It was crap. So I think that Compound and Into the Radius just didn't make the cut because they went, right, we've got NFL Pro Era, we've got Ghostbusters, we've got Bone Lab. The game is called Bone Lab, not Bone Labs. And they just got cut, which is a pity because they look really good. I'm really looking forward to both those games. But the big one, which we now have confirmed, is Mr. PowerOn.
We have proof of is Assassin's Creed. Specifically, Assassin's Creed Nexus.
Yeah. Why would they not even just, like, right at the end, when after Cowhands had fucked off, just done the Ghostbusters thing, she'd driven off in Ecto 1, which I think was the coolest ending ever, and then just done like a Ezio walked past the screen. Hey, dudes.
Yeah, just a little teaser, just
No.
a tiny weeny like hide an Assassin's Creed model in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
make
Oh,
Easter eggs.
that would have been perfect. Or
They
maybe
had
even
barbecue sauce last time.
Baby Ray's. Maybe just, right at the end when it all went black, just go have the poo Splinter Cell noise where he turns his nogs on. Anything. But anyway, what happened was the day after the gaming showcase, like one of my favourite YouTubers is Sadly It's Bradley.
I saw this tweet, yeah.
And he tweeted that there's been this big, there'd been a leak about Assassin's Creed. So was the leak of Assassin's Creed done because Assassin's Creed wasn't in the gaming showcase? Was that somebody from Ubisoft going, fuck you, Meta, we're going to do that? Or was it just...
I think if someone from Ubisoft did that, they would be fired the next minute.
Sorry, I'm just reading
Although saying that, I don't think it was someone from Ubisoft. It would have been one. It would have been one of the playtesters.
Okay, so if you're not aware of what happened, I obviously follow Sadly It's Bradley on Twitter, and he tweeted something along the lines of, "If any of you were involved in the recent Ubisoft beta, can you DM me?" Right? So I mean, this came up and I was like, straight away, I was like, okay. And I tweeted, Brad's a VR guy. Ubisoft are doing Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell. And I said, is this like conclusion? And he tweeted back, good conclusion. So he's played the Assassin's Creed beta. He almost... anything but admitted it right there and then to me.
I'm incredibly jealous.
I am as well, because there's obviously people who've played Assassin's Creed in VR, and now they've confirmed that it's like Ezio and I can't remember the names of the flipping characters. There's a range of characters, so you're going to be playing throughout the ages. There's 16 levels. Say every single level is half an hour? 45 minutes, usual sort of Assassin's Creed style. 8
to 12 hours. That's reasonable.
Varying difficulty levels, replayability. Do you go in swinging or do you go in stealth? There's so much potential for that game. I mean, I loved... Actually, when I went to Italy on holiday, I went to San Gimignano, which is where all the crazy big towers are.
Yep.
I actually went there and took a photograph, and I went to the Duomo in Florence, and I went somewhere else, I can't remember at the moment, and that's because I played Assassin's Creed so many times, or that particular Assassin's Creed game. So if there's like 8 to 10 hours of gameplay and different difficulty levels, and you can go in covert and overt,
and pickpockets, and lockpick,
and hide in crowds. And just...
I cannot wait for the parkour. If they get the parkour right, I don't care about the assassinations. If they get the parkour right and they stick it into really cool places, because this is the thing, right? Assassin's Creed, get rid of the combat and the sneaking around, and just look at it from a history standpoint.
Yeah.
Other than Assassin's Creed 1, which was so-so on it.
It was.
Everything past that, they went really hard into making sure that things were as authentic as they possibly could, while still obviously being a fun game to play. And that was just mind-blowing. I mean, if you look at Assassin's Creed Origin and Assassin's Creed... What's the Greek one? I can't remember what it's called now. That's going to really... Odyssey,
yeah.
Had
to be called Odyssey.
They both had versions of the game that had zero combat in them, where you could play it from a historical standpoint, and it would actually guide you through the maps, which was phenomenal. And if they actually do anywhere close to that, we already have apps that allow us to explore different places on Earth.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to do that in the Assassin's Creed style.
Yeah.
I am like I have goosebumps thinking about that. That sounds just so good.
I had goosebumps, and now I've got goosebumps on my goosebumps. So I went to Florence on holiday with my wife, and we went to the Duomo, and there's next to the Duomo's there's a tower called Giotti's Bell Tower, and in Assassin's Creed the bell was still there. So we climbed up this medieval tower. Now, you've got to remember that medieval people are a lot smaller than modern people. I'm only 5'8", but I was like squeezing my way up these little channels. We climbed right to the top of Giotti's Bell Tower, and I looked out and I thought, I fucking did this in Assassin's Creed.
But much faster. I
climbed up the side of and not so easy. I climbed up the side of Giotti's Bell Tower in Assassin's Creed, and I stood there in Giotti's Bell Tower looking out the Duomo. I remember thinking, I've done this in a video game, and the only difference is it looks a little bit better because it's real life. So that's what I want from Assassin's Creed. Like you said, I hope they get it right. It's Ubisoft. They should. That's a big company.
So someone in my chat, Void Mantis, has said it seems the game is just episodes of main characters in VR. It might end up like Vader Immortal. It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible, but that would be a huge fuck up.
It would. If they say, "Oh, welcome to the Assassin's Creed experience," I'm out. Right? Because when the Star Wars...
You hate that word, don't you?
What was the Star Wars game they released recently?
Tales from the Galaxy's Edge.
Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Welcome to the Star Wars experience. Nah, I'm out. Sorry. I don't want to be guided through the Star Wars experience. I want to be...
I want to live the Star Wars.
I want to be the Mandalorian. I want to have Grogu in my back. I want to fly a Naboo fucking starfighter. I don't want to just sit in it while I get flown around. No,
I want to play Republic Commando in VR. Like, I don't worry about lightsabers. I don't care that much about lightsabers because honestly, I can play lightsabers in Blade and Sorcery, or I can play Vader Immortal, or to a lesser extent, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. But if you just want to just show me a cool game, Republic Commando will easily port over to VR with no worries.
Yeah.
It's a team combat like simulation. Like that sounds fun to me.
Star Wars Battlefronts in VR.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Do you know what? I've got a fucking great big long list of stuff here, and we're still talking about Metagaming Showcase.
Yeah, it's right. The biggest, in my opinion, it's the biggest news from the last 2 weeks. So
it is. So Assassin's Creed is coming. They say it's coming within the next 12 months. It might be closer than that. If there's a closed beta, then they're testing it.
Yes.
So, I mean, sadly, Bradley did take a lot of back steps on Twitter over the last couple of days, saying hardware stuff is easier to predict, software stuff can change a lot more quickly. So he had a backtrack like fuck. So I don't know whether Ubisoft have got onto him and said, "Don't do that,
you naughty boy,
naughty boy." Because he basically in a tweet to me, and his like channel's 100,000, and he's like a real industry vet, and my channel's like a lot smaller than his, and he basically confirmed to me, yeah, it's there, it's coming. So, anyway, Splinter Cell. I am the. I hate to say this, I am the world's biggest Sam Fisher fan. Not the stuff that they've released recently, because that has been utter fucking garbage. But they've made it into like an action game. The proper stealth, Sam Fisher sitting in the shadows, watching, moving, stealthing, and getting in and out without being seen. That was. I love that stuff. Unfortunately, that hasn't been announced, so we don't know where that is.
Here's the thing with Splinter Cell, and I truly believe what I'm about to say. I think they are waiting to see how Assassin's Creed is received, because I don't think for a second that their VR team is anywhere near the size of a standard Assassin's Creed game or any of that, like Far Cry or anything like
Oh,
that.
crikey, no.
No, so it's going to be a relatively small team, and I think what they're going to do is they're going to say, right, let's see how Assassin's Creed does, and if it bombs, and if it doesn't have enough of a good reception, we're just not going to do Splinter Cell until it becomes much easier to do.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. So if you were going to do Assassin's Creed in VR and you wanted to test the water, you would put your really, really good Assassin's Creed people on it, wouldn't you?
I don't know, because I still don't know if Ubisoft are taking VR seriously.
Quest 2 has outsold PS5, the PS5. Right? It's not just me saying that because I'm a VR fan. It's me saying that because the figures testify to the fact that Quest 2 has outsold PS5.
Yes, but I also, if you look at previous sales figures for the Nintendo DS, compared to like standard console sales, right? The Nintendo DS sold really fucking well.
Yeah.
Throughout the world.
Yeah.
But let's face it, no one was taking that as a serious gaming device, even though it is perfectly acceptable for people to just enjoy chilled games and out there games. It's okay to enjoy Mario Kart. It's okay to enjoy WarioWare. It's okay to enjoy like Phoenix Wright Attorney at Law or whatever that game was called.
Objection!
It is completely fine to enjoy those type of games. But people still weren't taking it seriously because it wasn't Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It wasn't Gears of War. It wasn't Assassin's Creed. It wasn't Splinter Cell.
Halo.
It wasn't big name brands. Halo.
Yeah.
It wasn't big name brands. And so people still weren't taking it as seriously as a gaming device. And I think that's exactly how they're looking down on the Oculus. Or, sorry, I will correct myself slightly on the Meta Quest 2. And the problem with that, and it's understandable because at the end of the day, it's an Android device.
Yeah.
It is a tiny little console. They're not pushing the boundaries of hardware like the PS5 and the Xbox and whatnot. And so people still aren't taking it seriously.
Assassin's Creed's a massive, massive franchise, though.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are Ubisoft, you would not fuck with your biggest franchise or one of your biggest franchises.
I would hope not.
No.
Because it is a gamble.
And as well, so if Meta and Ubisoft are in a partnership where they say, oh, we're doing Assassin's Creed and we're doing Splinter Cell, you would think that Meta would be piling talented developers into Ubisoft to say, right, this is how you do things in VR. Look at what works, look at what doesn't work. And because Meta haven't just gone, woo, we signed Assassin's Creed, and then like gone for fucking lunch. Mark Zuckerberg is at Ubisoft going fucking banging the table in meetings, I reckon.
Possibly.
And if he isn't, with his little freaky fucking hands.
Gromy has just put something in my chat that I think is very interesting, actually. I think that's a...
Gromy's watching my stream as well.
Yeah, no, he's on the both of them, and
Nice.
Thanks for doing that, dude. So, is the Quest player base more younger than PS5/Xbox? It may be something to consider for game studios. I completely agree with you.
Yeah,
I think that it is a young person's console.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the whole.
So if you can go onto YouTube and look at my demographics, my main, considering I'm 55 years old, my main demographic is 18 to sort of 35. It's actually 18 to 25 is a big spike. 25 to 35 is my next biggest. So yeah, you talk about like millennials. You know, people who grew up with like tech. What did I say there?
You said millennials.
People who were born.
I'm a millennial.
What?
I am. Millennials, people that grew up in the early 90s.
Oh,
Because
boomer.
then they.
Oh, right. I don't mean them then.
So
I
you're
do mean
thinking
them.
of I think you're thinking of Gen X, Gen Z, no
Okay.
Gen Z.
Yeah. So we
Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're talking millennials
I
and Gen
understand
Z.
what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. So it's the main, like, more than 60% are 18 to 35. And then we've got Weeble. Hey, Weeble. Who's actually older than
Who
me.
really brings up that average.
He does. You need 3 Gen Zs just to get that average down with Weeble. Bless him.
No, so I think that is something to consider. Like, if there aren't enough people, like, if let's say, just, I don't know the statistics. Okay, I'm gonna say this straight. I don't know the actual statistics, but if I was to make a bet, I would say that at least 50% of all Quest users are below the age of 16. That would be my bet.
Really?
Yes, because
Okay.
especially with Christmas, when it was becoming the hot toy for purchase at Christmas last year, I would say that probably half of all of the Quest users are more than likely below the age of 16, because it's a cool console to have.
It is. And that's probably why me and Serge had such a good time murdering a load of squeakers in December. How do I reload my gun? Here, I'll show you. Fucking boom.
So here's the thing, right? If I am correct in that assumption, and we're talking about games like Assassin's Creed, which are not a child-friendly game, then possibly half of your audience are not actually your target audience for your big AAA software.
I kind of disagree with you a little bit here, because before VR, I was a massive Call of Duty fan, and we used to call them the 4 o'clock ninjas, and it was the kids
Just
who come
finished school.
Just finished school, came home, mum gave them a bottle of pop, they switched their Xbox or PlayStation on, and they played Call of Duty. And I was a decent player, Call of Duty player. But 4 o'clock, you've got these little ninjas on who could, like, literally jump out of a window, 360, no scope, and just go past you like you were stood still. And they had their sensitivity on their controllers turned up to 100%, and it was just something they did. That was how their brains worked, and they could do it. Do you not think those kids are going to play Assassin's Creed if they get a chance?
I'm not saying that they're not going to play it, and I'm not saying that their parents are going to stop them from purchasing it. Yeah. What I'm saying is that from an official standpoint, in the same way that Activision can't be saying, "Hey, 9-year-old kid, play Black Ops 2," right?
Yes.
In the same way, from an official standpoint, you are not meant to be marketing these bloody, gory games to those people.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not going to play it. They are definitely going to play it. And actually, this is something I was going to mention about the showcase. If I'm correct in my thinking, it was at 10 a.m. in the US, right?
It was, yeah.
There were a lot of games on there that are not child-friendly. Like, from a watermark perspective.
Yeah. I mean, Boss, Cities, everything else, you got a gun and shot people in the face. Like
Ghostbusters, I guess.
Ghostbusters, yeah. I mean, that's scary. If it's like a combination of Faz and Ghostbusters, which I really hope it is, because then you'll get to see us screaming like a big bunch of fucking girls on live streams.
Yeah, see, that seemed a bit weird to me. I'm not sure, because I'm obviously, whatever account I logged in with is going to say that I am above the age 18, so there won't be any warnings anyway. But I assume there were no warnings on there. Unless, here's the thing, there is the possibility that Meta said, we officially don't support the idea of 13 and under having access to this platform.
That, right, it's in, when you buy the Quest 2, it's in the booklet. And if you go online and look at the rules and regulations, it says they do not recommend that anybody under the age of 13 plays. But I'll tell you what the reason is. It's because of brain development and eye development. That's the Get Out course for them. They're not saying this is violent content, you can't access it. It's because people who are under the age of 13, their ocular it's still developing, and so that's their Get Out clause. We've said this, let little Johnny buy it, and we will gather his data. Anyway, nobody under the age of 13 can have a Facebook account and sign in anyway.
No, and there's no way around that, of course.
No, there isn't. Woo. We won't talk about that because I start fucking
getting
ranting.
antsy.
So, on a side note, and this is genuine, right? This is genuine. Now, you got to look at me, and then you got to look at Shooey, and you got to think about, if you're looking at Shooey, what kind of sponsors would you perhaps get? You would get beard grooming. You would get...
Oh, okay. I see where we're going now.
You know where we're going. You would get...
See where we're going now.
You would get virtual reality inserts for your glasses. Maybe you would actually think, oh, he's a Raiders fan. I'll send him some Raiders merchandise. Or maybe
a nice new RGB microphone.
Or some Gucci headphones. No. What the fuckers did to me was a company called BZT approached me to advertise wigs on my channel.
I've had some weird ones approach me, but nothing quite to the point of
insulting.
I genuinely don't know if I have to assume, right? I want to see the rest of that email because I saw the bit you highlighted.
Yeah.
But I would like to read the entire email, and mainly because I want to see if there's anything in there that gives them a pass, even slightly.
No. They wanted me to advertise wigs on my channel, and they were going to let me do a 35-second video, which were going to pay me for, and sponsorship links and affiliate links.
How much?
$1,400.
Wow! I would do a stream in a fucking bikini for $1,400, Mac. I will do a stream in a bikini for $1,400, even if that bikini has literally your face on my package.
I could do that. I'll send you a screen grab. What I didn't understand, they wanted to sponsor my channel, and I think I'd have to play that video at the beginning of every single one of my videos.
Oh no, screw that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not doing this podcast in a bikini every week.
No, exactly, with a fucking wig on. Now this is the wonderful life of a YouTuber, because I mean, I've had some weird shit. People have want to send me shoes, perfume. They obviously just look at a certain size of channel and send emails out.
Yeah.
So, for example, I mean, I like ProTube. I use ProTube nearly every day. They've looked after me, but I use ProTube stuff, so I don't mind promoting ProTube stuff. It's the same with Kiwi Design. Kiwi Design, you've had some experience with Kiwi Design as well, haven't you?
Yes.
So I've literally looking at right now, I've got 2 Kiwi Design VR headstands to display my headstands. I've got a Kiwi Design cable mount, cable system. I've got the Kiwi Design dumbbells. So if Kiwi Design came to me and said, can we sponsor your channel? I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, because I use your stuff. I use your stuff. I don't wear wigs. The
thing is from that standpoint, I've been through, if you look at my previous videos, all the way up until December last year, all of them have Kiwi Design stamp.
Yeah.
I think for a 6-month period they were sponsoring me, and part of that sponsorship was that I would look at their products for them. I was never obligated to say anything good about them. That was a stipulation of it.
Yeah, it is.
Everything I said about their products is my complete opinion. But I did have to have their stamp, their logo on my videos, and just mention them every now and again, and that's fine. But as it turns out, I don't really want my videos to be stamped forevermore.
No, and it's. We could get into the Oculus Ambassador thing.
Yeah, the Oculus Ambassador thing's an odd one.
Sorry, Weebles just turned up, and Anthridge has just said, "Let's start a GoFundMe for that one." Anthridge,
honestly,
no.
If you guys raise £1,400,
if you raise, I tell you what,
I will do it in a mankini. I will tattoo Mac's face on a part of my body for 1,400 quid.
Right. Anthridge, if you want to go for it, GoFundMe. I'll wear a wig. Fuck it. I don't care. I've got no morals. I'm retired. This is my income now.
Yeah.
Ah, Jesus.
No, that was an odd one. I must admit, I coughed very hard. I was almost literally rolling on the floor when I saw your tweet.
I was insulted, and then hugely amused, and then I thought, no, that's fucking comedy gold. I have to put it out. I have to put it out there. The
picture of you with the wig on, mate, was fantastic. Loved it.
I actually wore that to an 80s party. I went as him from Wham. What's his name? George Michael. And it was great. I was wearing the wig, and people would take my photograph, and I was like, I actually quite like this. I actually quite like having hair. I did like having hair until I was about 40, but there you go.
Okay, so there is no actual sponsored wig, Cactus.
No.
Welcome to the chat, my dude. There's no actual spot. They didn't send him a wig yet. No. He would have had to have agreed to their terms to receive the wig and the money. So he doesn't actually, like, the wig that he has, if you go and look on Twitter, that is his own wig that he already owns.
Yeah. And I'd like to point out, that's just in my dress-up box. It's not like a wig that I wear on a regular occasion. Weebles just said, how do you like my Brian May pic? So Weeble, basically, on my Discord, he transposed my face onto Brian May, and he said, you should be sponsored by that. And it was like, yeah, that was quite funny. So, anyway, sod you, Weeble. I'm only joking, mate. Right, we've got stuff to talk about, but I need a comfort break.
I also need a comfort break. I have just realised, though, I don't have a pause screen.
So you just have to walk away, like.
Actually, no. We're gonna. Oh shit! Sorry about that. Definitely didn't accidentally click on my break screen that I've just created and is completely black. My bad. I also do need a comfort break though, so we're gonna take 5 minutes. I'm going to create a break screen. Apologies, I didn't actually get this sorted.
Mac, being the professional, has already got one.
Yeah, no, Shooey didn't plan for this because when I created all of this streaming setup, it was purely for the live stream, and I knew I wasn't gonna take a break during that.
Weeble's got a good point there. He said take it in turns.
Yeah, no. If you want to vamp, and then I'll vamp, or vice versa. That does work.
I'm older than you, and I really need to pee.
That's fine, mate. You go. You go. Is there anything you don't want me to talk about?
No, actually, this works really well because I wanted to show the Levitation trailer, and I wanted to show the Elden Ring trailer. So while you're away, I'll do that. And then when you come back...
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so I'll go first, so you just keep waffling.
Okay, so hang on. I'm going to switch over to this then. And Mac looks awful in that, so give me 1 second, and I will fix it. Mac, whenever you want to go, mate, you can go. That's fine.
Okay.
I just need to fix your camera on here.
Okay, I'm just going to mute my mic so you can't hear me peeing. Right.
That's odd.
Yeah, it is. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Yep, cool. Right, so Mac's going to show that. I'm actually going to try and show you it as well. So let's resize that, and we'll just sort that out. Does that look good? That looks good. I need to put Mac's thing on there. So yeah, bear with me. I am trying to make a stream scene as we are talking, and it's mainly because I've had a bit of a bad day. It's not been a bad day. It's been actually quite a good day, but unfortunately, I had some bad news about a friend, and that kind of sucked. So consequently, I haven't been as prepared as I could have. Right, let's make that. So here's the thing. This is Mac's background. Mac likes his background, so I have to include his background, but I obviously didn't think we'd be switching over to this screen. But I was going to put a video up here, but Mac will probably be back before I am done doing this. We will see. So where is Mac's webcam? It is somewhere. There it is. So now if we grab this and I can give that a filter, I can grab that chroma key. And that should, there we go. That looks good enough for now. Right, so we want to, not that, not that, not that, not that. This is the one I was going to show you. Because this is what we were talking about earlier, I think. Not 100% certain. Why can't I see my... There it is. Is that showing? Yes, kind of. It's not exactly in the right place, but it'll do. So this is the Nexus leak that we saw, and this is kind of got me excited because it looks very stereotypical Assassin's Creed. I could probably make this video a bit better, really, couldn't I? Right, if we drag that over there, right. Let's cut that down. That'll do. That'll do. So yeah, we don't get to see much. I'll replay it again. We don't get to see much, but I think we get to see enough. I think this is obviously real. It looks Assassin's Creedy. It doesn't show us any combat. And that is why are if they're already going to leak this, right? If they're already going to leak at least this, why not show us something more? And this is the only reason I think that this might have been leaked by Ubisoft themselves. I think they may have used that as a hype. It is possible that they just put it on there as a hype. And that's kind of shit. Don't you think? I know that Weeble, you are correct. This is Ubisoft, and they are a little bit sketchy. It's possible that they're doing more sketchy things. Hey, Fun with the Clicks. How's it going, my man? It's been a while. We need to play some more Demio soon. Actually, while we've got Cactus in the chat, I think it is only fair. I don't know if I can find it or not. Here we go. I want to show you his Plants at War trailer, because this game, honestly, I've been playing it this morning, and I am seriously considering playing it again when I'm done with the stream. I've had an absolute blast. I loved that he has changed this in a way that makes it more campaigny rather than arcadey, and it did feel like I mean, you can see here, you're in D-Day. You're in a weird alternative universe where you're in D-Day versus the bugs. There was still that element of Cactus Cowboy there that made it Cactus Cowboy. The guns worked really, really well. The bolt action rifle, man, you got that spot on. I loved using the bolt action rifle. It has been my favorite gun to use. The only criticism I have so far is that the perfect setup for my Pro Tube is of a certain distance, and I couldn't grip those rifles properly using my Pro Tube. It's not a big issue. It probably won't be a problem for most people, but for me, it was a problem. Other than that, I think this game is great. As far as I'm aware, it is on App Lab already, and I'm not sure if it's already on PC VR. Cactus, you can tell me whether or not that's correct. But yeah, no, I've been having a blast. Well worth checking out. It's completely free, by the way. Here we go. Return of the Mac. I can't hear him yet. He is back. I can't hear him. There we go.
So while I was went to the toilet. No, well, I wasn't peeing in the corner. I went to the toilet. Anthridge need an Oculus wig with a big mullet wig attached to the head strip now as a joke.
I just realised I apologised to Mac's stream.
You didn't see what he was showing, yeah.
Because I literally only just realised you guys couldn't see what I was showing. But yeah, no, it's Cactus Cowboy.
Oh yeah.
Plants at War. Go check it out.
Yeah,
it's great.
I've got a key for it, so I will be streaming it on my channel sometime in the next week or so.
Yeah,
and the dev's fantastic. He's a lovely bloke.
He is. He's wonderful.
He's absolutely wonderful. I think is he waiting for App Lab approval? It's on side.
No, I saw it. It's on App Lab now.
Oh, right. Okay, certain. Cool. Yeah, okay, cool. I've got a key, so I'll be playing it. So while Shooey's away, unfortunately, Shooey's viewers won't get to see what I'm showing my viewers because it doesn't work.
Well, if you tell me what it is, I can quickly stick something on.
I'm going to show the levitation trailer, and I'm going to show the part of the Elden Ring trailer. So when you get back, you need to shout out that you're back, so I can knock it off.
That's fine. Right, so I mean the levitation trailer is 2 minutes, so even if they don't see the Elden Ring one, feel free to jump over to Mac's stream, because then you'll be able to see the Elden Ring one as well.
I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll show the levitation trailer, and then we'll show the Elden Ring trailer when we're talking about it later on.
Cool. Yeah, no, I will try and be less than 5 minutes. But either way, levitation will be on my stream. There might be some weird and wonderful shit come on after that. We will see. But yeah, I will be back in a few minutes.
Okay. So while Shooey is doing that, I will show the levitation trailer. I'm just going to wait for him to disappear. And I will show the levitation trailer. So Levitation is it's a Half-Life Alyx mod, and it's absolutely wow. It's like it's got the production values of Half-Life Alyx. So here we go.
Alex, Barry and Maya, remember when we asked them not to investigate the giant levitating building in Sector X? Well,
we're getting into that floating building, Alex.
Shut your eyes, Miss Vance, and picture the end of your struggles. Is it freedom that you see, or just darkness? After so much bloodshed, was it all worthwhile? You have to decide, Miss Vance. It's time to choose.
So, what do you think of that? I think that looks amazing. This, and apparently the campaign is 4 to 5 hours, which if you put Alex on its least difficult setting, you can actually finish Half-Life Alex in 5 hours, and I know that because I've done it, like a speed run. Wow, they haven't used the original voice actors. That guy who was doing the Australian guy, that he sounds like him, but it's not him. But wow, how good does that look? So, Fun with Click said, I didn't see you take the wig company up on their offer. No, I didn't. I just ignored them. Rift Traveller says, wow, that looks great. Fun with the Clicks. This is just teasing. I don't have PC VR. Oh, unlucky dude. PC VR elitist. Grommy said, looks good. No PC VR. Unfortunately, sorry, guy, can't help you. Weeble, that looks fantastic. Anthrax, that looks pretty awesome. Someone said Valve made it that it couldn't really say otherwise. Yeah, that's how I felt about it. If Valve had put that out as like Half-Life Alyx Chapter 2, I'd have totally gone for that. I'd have totally gone for it. I'd have believed them. Like hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. It looks absolutely fantastic. There's another one we want to do as well a bit later on. I'm going to wait for Shooey to come back. We don't know yet, Grimwoody. They haven't given a release date. I'm following them on their website. No, it's not a website. Is it on the Discord channel? Right, we have Shooey. Shooey is back. Shooey is back.
Shooey is back.
There was a big reaction to that levitation trailer. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It blows my mind every time I watch it.
Yeah. The production value is just off the chart.
Right, I'm going to switch back to just us. There we go. Just us again.
Okay.
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try. So, and we're going to try and do this sequentially. We're going to talk about Elden Ring.
Okay.
Right, so I haven't played Elden Ring yet, but I've been very interested in it. Surjical has played it, and he said it's so addictive. He said it's like he forgot about VR for a week, and basically did Elden Ring instead. Oh, there goes my camera again. He says absolutely blown away how good the game is. So it's a VR mod. It's by the guy who did Mafia and Red Dead Redemption 2 and Cyberpunk VR,
GTA 5
and GTA 5. Yes,
yep.
Ross Luke, I think his name is. So
Luke Ross.
Luke Ross. So to play the games, you need to own the game on Steam, and you need to subscribe to his Patreon, which, to be fair, I'm totally fine with.
Is worth it.
It's absolutely worth it.
If you've got PC VR, 100% worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just scratching my back. Anthony says he put 70 hours into it in 2 weeks. Oh my God! Rift Traveller says,
man,
I wish it was in VR.
I don't have 70 hours to put into anything.
No, I don't either. I'm too busy. I'm too. Since I retired, I don't know how I had enough time to do what I used to do. Right. So, have you got the Elden Ring trailer set up?
No. If you give me a second, I can.
I have got it set up, but I've got it set up so that it's going to start at 8 seconds because that's the bit where he opens the door.
Right, so it's that one. I apologize, it's not perfectly in the right place.
Okay, somebody, it looks like Disco VR, a Quest 2 without PC VR is missing all the Steam VR content. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Virtual Desktop is amazing. Get Virtual Desktop. Play all your Steam VR shit. It's absolutely amazing. Green Gamer said he put 600 plus hours into Crusader Kings 2. How have you got the time? And make a game? Fuck me. Just tell us when you're ready, and I can run mine.
Can't seem to find.
Go to Upload VR. Go to the Elden Ring, and if you scroll down, it's actually there, and you can just full screen it. That's how I did it, anyway. Well, that's how I'm going to do it.
Yep, no, that makes sense. Upload VR. So, where Elden Ring mod in development from GTA 5 modder.
Yeah, Disco.
So 8 seconds is where you're saying.
Yeah, I'm going to say Disco VR. Virtual Desktop allows remote PC VR, and Airlunk does as well. It is absolutely worth the money. I think it's 20 quid. And I must have put 1,000 hours into Virtual Desktop playing PC VR easily. It's incredible. Guy Godden is.
Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch this trailer.
Okay, hold on. I'm just putting it up on full screen. So you just tell me when you're ready.
Yep, whenever you're ready.
Okay, let's go. So this is the Elden Rings. So this guy's called Luke Ross, and he did the Cyberpunk and GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 mods.
I mean, the thing is Elden Ring, I'll be honest, the type of game it is doesn't excite me.
Oh, it excites
me. But the idea of playing it in VR, on the other hand...
I mean, look at this.
It looks sweet.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I mean, anything that has a giant map that I can wander around, I'm going to be happy with.
Yeah.
Has he done it with motion controls?
He's done it with the he hasn't done it with the motion controls. He's done it with the controller.
Right.
But he has made some changes so that, because there's a lot of rolling and sidestepping and scripted combat in it, but he's actually made it so that you wouldn't get motion sickness. And I think that's just demonstrated when the boss drops in, which you'll see in a minute.
Okay, so is this obviously, having not played any Elden Ring, is this early game?
I'm guessing this is really early, yeah. Like,
yes, it is, because I've actually seen some TikToks about this guy in particular, and if you defeat him, you can get special bits and bobs.
Yeah.
The thing is that this is what worries me about this type of game in VR, is that there's a lot of spatial awareness that you have to have in these types of games.
Yeah.
And I feel like because it's no longer a third-person game, you lose a lot of that awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody on Twitter when this was posted said that you could be, because you're in VR, you're concentrating on fighting a boss, but what happens is a lot of other stuff comes in from the back, and if you're in the third person, you can see them.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Elden Ring, I was like, should I get this and play it? Thinking about all the time I've got to play in games, and then now the guy's done a VR mod, I can do content in VR. Okay. Anthony says this is the very start of the game. It's part of a tutorial.
Okay. I wonder whether... And this is not a criticism. This is a constructive critique, I guess.
Okay.
I wonder, instead of focusing on creating these mods... there you go, he's back. I wonder, instead of creating these type of mods, where we're becoming more first-person orientated, and we seem to be obsessed with the idea of being first-person and turning these third-person games into first-person VR games, I wonder whether or not we should be concentrating on creating a way of us being a camera in the game. Do you understand what I mean?
I do. Right. So Moss and Lucky's Tale are
Yep.
third-person games, and they
Yes,
work.
and I wonder if we need to start focusing on making this sort of game so that we can feel immersed while still playing third person with a controller. Because we don't ever have to even worry about motion controls at that point.
The guy who's doing the mod, Luke Ross, he said you can play it in third person, but he says for some reason the camera angle is too, you're too far away. He can't quite figure out how to get the camera to be a little bit closer. So, I mean, the guy's a fucking genius. So, well, we'll see when it comes out. It's coming out the end of the month, which is only 5 or 6 days away.
Yep.
So, we'll see. I will be buying the game, and I will be subscribing to Luke's Patreon. Luke's Patreon. And I'll be streaming it on my channel. So we'll see how it goes. Traveling Man, how you doing, mate? How you doing, mate?
See, this is the thing. I just want to sort of hammer home what I'm trying to say, because I think it is important. An idea, right? I don't dislike sitting in front of a screen or a TV or even a Nintendo Switch and playing a game. I don't dislike that, and most people don't dislike that.
No,
they
I like
enjoy that. And VR is just like adding to immersion and being able to jump into the virtual world. And that's great. Here's the thing, though. Imagine just for a second, those of you at home, close your eyes and just imagine this with me, okay? Imagine the trailer. You're watching somebody in a living room on a sofa with their controller, and they are watching a screen. And then all of a sudden, the bezels of the screen disappear, and then the whole image just stretches all the way around them, encompasses them, right? It's a pretty standard trailer. There's no reason why we can't, at this point, with VR as it stands, do exactly that.
Yeah.
Just create a camera that we can see through, that as we move our head, it moves the camera so that it moves us around spatially.
Yeah.
And then we can just play the third-person games.
I mean,
so that we can, like Splinter Cell.
Demio did it really well.
Yeah, no, Demio did it fantastically. That's exactly what I want from a lot of these third-person games. I don't want to be first-person, necessarily.
So, okay, so as people on the channel know, I'm a massive Halo fan. My wife, beautiful woman that she is, she got me this. We've talked about this before. She got me the Elite controller. How the hell she managed to work this out, I don't know, but she got me Game Pass because she knew that I could then play Halo Infinite on my PC using just the controller, and streaming it or downloading it, whatever. There was a Halo Reach in VR mod coming. Do you know about that?
Sorry, say that again. I was reading a comment, but yeah, say that again.
There was a Halo Reach mod that was being done, and the guy demonstrated Halo Reach in VR with full motion controls.
That sounds good.
It's gone quiet, right? And I think we mentioned this in one of our podcasts before, and one of the contributors in our chat said that he's actually been hired by 343 Industries.
So here's the question. Was he hired to continue his work, or was he hired because he did a good job?
Yeah. So Disco VR, sorry if I mispronounced that. Yeah, he actually got hired by 343. Or are they thinking about bringing Halo to VR? Because if it works, imagine the Master Chief Collection remastered in VR. You can then sell all the content that I've bought. It's like fucking Skyrim. How many times have you bought Skyrim? No, you said 3. 3?
I've bought Skyrim officially twice.
And unofficially another again. Right, so
Unofficially 3 more times.
so I've bought all the Halo games in my life, right? I started off with Halo Combat Evolved, and I've worked my way all the way through them. I then bought the Master Chief Collection. I bought Halo 5, Halo Infinite. So if you released those games in VR and said to me I had to buy them again, I would buy them again.
Yes, if they came out in VR and they were officially supported and they were done well,
Yeah.
like they don't have to add anything too tricksy, but I do want to be able to actually feel like I'm holding the assault rifle with both hands.
Yeah. Oh, you have to. Yeah.
That's the extent that I would want them to make it. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it becomes more problematic when you get to the later games, or like is it the third game where you start using more melee weapons?
And in Infinite you have the I can't remember what it's called.
The light blade thing.
No, the pachoo where you.
Oh, the
grappling hook. Yes. Why can't I remember the word grappling hook? Sorry, I need to take a look at my chat. So just give me a second.
Yeah, so you've had someone ask whether VD Virtual Desktop is more demanding than just using a third-party Oculus Link cable.
Okay, right. My opinion here, Newt. Hey, Virtual Desktop is better than a link cable.
That isn't the question he's asking, though. To be fair,
it isn't. If you have decent Wi-Fi, there's no reason for you to use a link cable, even a third-party link cable. On the Quest, buy it from the Quest library. Virtual Desktop is. I use Virtual Desktop nearly exclusively on my Quest 2. There's no reason to use a link cable if you have a Virtual Desktop.
As far as I'm aware, with the link cable, it does still have to encode and decode the information. So, as far as I'm aware, because theoretically the speed is higher, and I get that the throughput should be able to be greater with the link cable because it is a physical cable, especially the official one because it uses fiber optic technology as well. So there is the theoretical higher throughput. However, it is such a marginal difference because of the ability for the Quest 2 headset to actually do the decoding on the way back through that it makes very little difference.
Yeah. Plus, AirLink, or if you use AirLink instead of Virtual Desktop, it has asynchronous space warp, which is another subject. And if you use Virtual Desktop has synchronous space warp, which basically means that if you are getting frame drops, you will not get frame drops because the software will make up synthetic frames in between. So,
however, bear in mind that that's not good for recording.
Yeah, it isn't. It's not very good for content creators. But Virtual Desktop and AirLink are better. The experience in Virtual Desktop and AirLink is better than using a cable because you don't have a cable, and therefore you don't get that twisting, tripping over. So, what Shooey said, the benefits are marginal. But I think as far as Virtual Desktop and AirLink go, they far outweigh being tethered to a PC. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no. If I would turn on the SSW, mate. Yeah. It does make a big difference. There are certain games where I think it actually detracts from the game quite a lot. Population 1 was going to be the first one that I mentioned. Actually, it's not a good thing to turn it on because a fake frame when you're using a Psycho or an AWP can be the difference between winning and losing a game.
It does, yeah. But Green Hell, which has asynchronous space warp, application space warp built in, runs at 45 frames per second, but application space warp upscales it to 90, and that's why Green Hell looks so good on the Quest 2. So just have to take a break here because the chat's gone mad.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, Grimwoody. Grimwoody, I have not seen the Halo series on Paramount yet because it's not available in the UK. Oh, I'm so excited for that.
You can tell in your chat specifically your particular subscribers, because the moment we start mentioning virtual desktop or
Boom!
anything to do with that, instantly it's like fire, fire, fire. We've got questions. This is what we've been waiting for. We didn't want to ask straight out, but we're here now.
Okay, so I'm going to have a quick... Newt, weird, I get lag spikes with virtual desktop. Right, if you're getting lags with virtual desktop, it's your internet. It's your Wi-Fi speed.
Or you've got your megabits per second turned up too high.
No.
No?
I'd like to debunk that myth. In the stream...
Okay.
Right, so I'm actually working on a video, an updated 2022 virtual desktop video. So what Guy Godden has done is he's put into the Streamer app, which is on your PC, it has a tick box called automatically adjust bitrate. So virtual desktop would look at how strong your Wi-Fi is and then adjust your bitrate accordingly. So on your streaming tab in virtual desktop, you need to put your megabits per second up to the full fucking whack and then let virtual desktop decide if it's going to, how it's going to use that setting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That was, and if anybody's wondering, that was a direct tweet to me by Guy Godden. He said, tick that box and then just whack your megabits per second up to 150. Okay, so sorry. Oh. Okay. Newt, put asynchronous space warp to SSW2 automatic. Grimwoody says I get better results for virtual desktop than I do with link cable. Yes. I have a dedicated router for my virtual desktop, so that's why it runs pretty flawlessly for me. Grimwoody's in the UK. Weeble says it's good things. There's more settings in there. Ryzen, right. Ooh, okay. Ryzen, virtual desktop. I've just opened a little can of worms and now we're trying to stuff the worms back inside.
There is a good reason why I spent the extra money on an i9. Yeah. Not least of which because it is much, much better for editing. But also because I use virtual desktop a lot.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but
it's not. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying that Ryzen is bad. It is not. It is a very, very good CPU. But there is a lot to be said for the advantages of Intel when it comes specifically to virtual desktop.
Yeah, and also Nvidia over AMD GPUs. Sorry.
Yes. Once again, it's the reason why I had to spend a hell of a lot extra money on buying a 3080 rather than, the equivalent AMD.
It's not virtual desktop's problem. It's the manufacturer's problem. Anyway, that's right.
That's a story for another time.
It is a story
I do have an interesting topic, actually.
Okay.
It's interesting to me at least. Okay. So my previous setup was a laptop, and ignoring the fact that it was a laptop, it was still an 11th gen. Yeah, shush. It was still an 11th gen i7 with a 2080 Super graphics chip. Okay. Now the mobile graphics chips were, once you got past a certain point, were no longer a mobile version. They were the full version that was slightly scaled in order to prevent fires, basically. Yes. which is fine.
Which is bad because I used to be a firefighter.
Yeah. So I struggled to get that to run certain programs, certain games at a level that I was happy with. Now, don't get me wrong, I definitely know that I would have gotten at least a 10% bump if I'd have had an actual 2080 Super in a desktop PC than on the laptop. And I am completely accepting of that. I am under no delusions. However, as I said, I struggled, and someone that I've been seeing recently on TikTok, and I'm not going to name names, has been saying that they recently got a 20, an i7, I think, an i7 with a 2060, and they're claiming that they can run everything on high settings for VR.
And
I'm not going to say that they're wrong.
And they put it in like liquid CO2 or something.
I have to wonder, because I'm struggling. Like, I don't know if I just don't know enough about PCs, which is acceptable.
Yeah.
I will take that.
Yeah.
But I was struggling to get out of a higher system what they are quite claiming that they get on a lower system. I'm not so certain. So someone tell me, was I doing something very wrong? Or are they not quite sincere as they could be?
Yeah. Yes. So, shall we move on to what is my last subject, but possibly not your last subject?
Okay.
Okay. So, we're going to talk about the Pico Neo 3 Link, which there was a presentation on Tuesday? Was it Wednesday, Tuesday? Anyway, we haven't talked about it in the podcast because it happened in between the podcasts. So I've pre-ordered the Pico Neo 3 Link because I got banned by Facebook. Here we go again. I got banned by Facebook from my Quest 2 because of something I said on Facebook, which was a friend of mine posted a picture of a lovely car and I said, you'll have to sell a kidney. And I got banned. Like, not just banned, but disabled. My account was gone. And it was done. Right? And you have to appeal against that. So I lost access to my Meta Quest 2. And that was quite traumatic because I just retired. I just started my new life as a YouTube content creator. And literally the day after I started, I lost access to my Quest 2. So I'm not anti-Meta. I'm not anti-Quest 2. I love my Quest 2. But I have to have an alternative. I have to build something into my ecosystem, which means that if this happens again, that I have to protect myself because
redundancy. Yeah.
Yeah. No social media. It's a social media company can take away the use of your main gaming VR headset. There's something fucking wrong with that. So I'm not anti-Meta. I'm not anti-Quest. I'm protecting myself. So I pre-ordered the Pico Neo 3 Link, £400, 256 gig memory, same screen as the Quest 2, can do up to 120 hertz resolution, same controllers almost. I mean, basically the Pico Neo 3 is a Quest 2 clone, or they're made in the same factory. You choose yourself. But the interesting part about the Pico Neo 3 presentation was that they said, and it was one of the things that right at the end, that they would give a 35% discount to anybody that buys a Pico Neo 3 headset. And if Pico then release another headset within 12 months, they would give a 35% discount. So we've since then found out that Pico are planning on releasing a Cambria rival before Cambria. So this headset is going to have pancake lenses. It's going to have micro LEDs or micro OLEDs. We don't know yet. It's going to have eye tracking, face tracking. It's going to have all the features that the Project Cambria is going to have, and they are going to release it before October because that's when the Cambria is going to be announced, I assume. How do you feel about that? And what price point do you think it's going to come in at?
What price point do I think it's going to come in at? Assuming... hang on, sorry. Are we assuming that it has the same rough specs as Cambria.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes sense. I mean, let's face it. The Pico Neo 3 Link is more expensive than the Quest.
It's not. It's got the same.
I thought you said it was 400.
Yeah, if you buy a 256 gig Quest, it's £400.
Okay, fair.
I've got one,
But
it cost me £400.
yes, but yes, yeah, no, I have one as well, and it cost me £400. However, there's no reason in my head, like most people are not going out and buying 256 gigabyte Quest 2s.
No.
Most people are buying the 64s, and then when they replaced it with the 128s, they were buying the 128s.
Yeah.
The reason I bought a 256 gig was because they didn't have any 64 gigs at my local shop. I spent £100 extra to be able to buy that Quest 2 that day.
Yeah.
No other reason. I didn't know that I would need it. It just that's the reason I purchased it. That's the reason I purchased the extra £100 worth. So I think it is an odd thing that they decided to price it at 400 and have the 256. I know that I know that it matches up. Go on, jump in.
It's got data port. It doesn't use USB-C, it uses data port. So you get uncompressed PC VR at the same level as a Valve Index. And who's just sold his Valve Index?
Honestly, it's the reason why I was considering still trying to find the 400 quid.
It's such a great package. I know that Pico don't have the reach of Meta, and they've absolutely said that this is a beta launch, right? There's 22,000 headsets being launched into the European market, and that's it. Not the US market, just the European market, and that's it. And everything that's coming out of Pico excites me. They want your feedback. They want to know what you want. They want to know what you don't want. They are not just saying, Facebook account, fuck you. Somebody just made a comment on your channel, on you.
No. Actually, I am smiling because of your statements.
Okay. Are you going to cut my legs away?
Not quite, but what you just described sounds very, very similar to a certain algorithm of a very prominent social media platform.
I'm not going to get banned by ByteDance from my VR headset.
Yet.
The Chinese version of ByteDance is completely different from the European version of ByteDance.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I am still worried of these very specific companies buying up VR development systems.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with you. They are only interested. I mean, like Pico have already said they are heavily discounting the Neo 3 Link, and they're heavily discounting what I'm going to call the Pico Pro, because they want you to get into their ecosystem. And as soon as you get into the ecosystem, they get your data and they're going to sell you data.
Okay, so I just want to point this out here, actually, because I had this exact conversation yesterday when it comes to the selling of data. Okay, we have known for a while now, and if you don't know, I'm here to tell you it. I assume that most of you know, your data is a commodity.
It is.
It is a commodity, right? In the same way as this glass, as dirty as it is, and used and scratched and whatever, this glass is a commodity. I could sell this commodity. I can touch it, I can feel it, I can sell it. And the argument, of course, could be that if you can't physically touch it, hold it, whatever, then it's not a commodity to sell. But we have digital assets. Ignore NFTs and shit like that. Ignore crypto.
Yeah.
Just look at proprietary, like games, music, movies, whatever you want to call it, right? Those are all commodities, and your data is absolutely no different. Because our data is a commodity, we should be able to choose how it is sold.
Yeah.
But we have been led into a situation where your data is essentially giving you discounts on things. And that is theoretically good for some people, but for the majority of us, as the human race as a whole, that's fucking awful.
It is.
It's the reason why I don't own a Tesco's club card. It's the reason why I don't own a co-op card. Because the reason you get those things is because of your data that you're giving them, that they then sell. Okay. That's how they can afford to give you those discounts.
Yeah. So the reason that Meta can sell a standalone virtual headset at £299 in the UK is because they are harvesting the fuck out of your data. And that's the only reason. Right? That's it.
Yep.
It's
and
like,
we accept that, or we ignore
accept
it.
that. Right, there's an Amazon tablet, and you can buy the Fire. You can buy the £79 version, which has adverts, or the £150 version, which doesn't have adverts. Which one are you going to buy? Oh, I'm going to buy the £79 one because it's the same thing, but you get the old adverts.
To fucking not. Sorry, just so that we're clear. If I get to shoot, if I pay £75 to never see an advert, I'm paying £75 to never see a fucking advert.
You're talking the guy who's subscribed to YouTube because he fucking hates adverts. But then there was a weird thing that happened, which we'll discuss later. It turns out that if you're a YouTube content creator, subscribing to YouTube Premium actually makes you more money. Just saying. You make more money from YouTube Premium than you actually pay to YouTube Premium. So if you're a YouTube content creator, subscribe to YouTube Premium right now. It's worth it. Okay, so yeah, ByteDance, worse than Facebook or not worse than Facebook? The vibe I was getting from the European branch of Pico is that they want to know what you want and what you don't want. And I like that. They're launching a beta. They're selling 22,000 headsets, which I think they've probably sold because the people I've talked to, they've gone crazy for the Pico Neo 3. Right, so the infrastructure isn't there. The games aren't there. It's not there. We need to build that. We need to tell them what we want. Like, don't do this, don't do that, but we like this, we do like that. And then when the Meta Cambria Pico Neo 3 Pro or whatever it's going to be called launches, then if I've fucked up, it's my fault, right? If Pico go and do something shit, then it's because I haven't told them enough about what I want. So that's why I'm getting involved in Pico Neo.
Make sure you say you don't want to have a TikTok login. That's
I mean, I've got a TikTok account. I don't use it. I'm not going to get banned. But yeah, that what you've just said there. Don't link my TikTok account to my Pico account. That's like the dumbest thing anybody's ever said. You know, like we talked about Trunk Monkey. We talked about Trunk Monkey, didn't we? So if you don't know, like we've talked about Trunk Monkey on various podcasts, and basically it's when you need to be in a meeting where somebody says something stupid, like, why don't we link our Facebook accounts to our Oculus accounts at the time? And somebody should have just turned around and said, no, that's a fucking stupid idea, because if you inadvertently get banned from your Facebook account, you will get banned from your Meta account, and therefore your consumer electronic device that you paid money for, you won't be able to use. Trunk Monkey should have come out with his wrench and just gone, no, bonk, and fucking hit that person over the head. And that would have been the end of it. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter or twisted.
So I don't think I'm going to be able to get my hands on a Pico Neo 3.
But you thought about it though, didn't you?
I did think about it, and literally the only thing stopping me was money.
Yeah, because you just spent all your money on a new PC.
Yeah, which is like on in the long run, buying the new PC was the better decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will start saving, ready for probably Cambria, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to think that I'm saving for Deckard.
That's gonna be £1,000.
Yeah, which is fine, but that's not my problem. My problem is I don't think it'll be out for 2 years.
Yeah, yeah. It's and it's on Valve time as well, so
Very much on Valve time.
So I'm just reading my comments.
Yeah, no, I'm reading your comments as well.
Oh, your data belongs to them. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that. I'm under no delusions of that. I just wanted to sort of shout to the rooftops my opinion on consumer data and how I think it should be a controllable commodity by the people.
Exactly. Immersed Robot make a good point there. He says user data is the only reason Facebook Meta exists in their current business model. That's a really good comment. That's a really good comment because that is actually true. But they would not admit that to your face. If I sent a tweet to Ruth Bram and said that's the only reason you exist, she would say, "Oh no, we would look at my lovely hair."
I mean, the only reason they exist is because Mark Zuckerberg was a really antisocial pervert to begin with. Like, that's the reason that Facebook exists. But in its current form...
I didn't say that, Mark! He said it! He said it! It wasn't me! Don't ban me! Ah, no, not again!
You can't ban me for speaking facts. Whether he still is now, it doesn't matter. I assume he's been replaced by a cyborg, but...
Oh, sorry, my camera's gone all weird. Get me back! Why is my camera gone? Oh, there we go. Right, I'm back.
There we go. Happy days.
He's been replaced. He's been replaced by the weird hand robot person.
I didn't say that, Mark. He did.
Oh, no! He said it first.
I didn't do the hand movements. That's the insulting bit.
Oh my god! Sorry, the chat's gone absolutely mad while we've been talking. It's absolutely crazy. I'm trying to keep up.
So as far as the Pico Neo Pro, let's just call it the Pico Neo Pro, the new one, the one that isn't out yet. I think it's going to be at least £800. And I think the reason why it's going to take off is because of that nice little discount ticket that people like you have got.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what is it, 35%?
35%, which is huge. So that actually, Space Denizens just posted something really good. PSVR 2. We keep forgetting about PSVR 2.
It's been pushed back to 2023. No one sees past December 2022.
Hey Crash, how you doing, mate?
Hey, dude.
Yeah. This supply chain problem, which seems to be affecting everybody. PSVR, they want to sell in volume on day one, don't they? So they need to build up a stock. And they've looked at their supply chain and said, we can't do it. It's not coming out this year. It's you can't even get hold of a PS5. I've got alerts for PS5 stock, and every time the alert comes in and I go and look, it's gone. PSVR 2 is going to fall flat on its fucking face if PlayStation can't sort out their supply problems.
How long's PS5 been out now?
Oh, 2021, I think it came out. Christmas?
No, it must have been before that.
No, they've sold 12 million. They sold 12 million consoles. Should we just have a quick...
Have a quick Google, because I'm actually interested in this.
Okay.
Because here's the thing.
When did PlayStation 5 come out? Oh my God!
Is it
12th of November
2019?
2020.
2020. Okay,
And
so
you still can't get
yep,
hold of
so
one.
November 2020.
Yeah,
So we
so-
are
yeah,
what
Nuke
are we
got it
now?
right.
18 months. 18
Yeah.
months it's been out.
Yeah,
What is the realistic life cycle for these particular consoles?
5 years.
You reckon 5 years? I think that is. I think that's a bit of an outdated time now. I think we're probably closer to 4 years.
Okay, yeah. So actually, what I'm forgetting is Xbox One came out, and the Xbox One X came out 2 years later, which gave it another 2 years because it could do 4K.
Yeah.
It was like the Xbox Pro, wasn't it? You know, and then PlayStation did the same thing with the 4 and whatever. Did they call it the Pro? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
So basically, you could play all your Xbox One games, but if you had the Xbox One X, you could play them in 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, actually,
So-
4 years. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. 2
So,
years, 4
yeah.
years.
I reckon 4 years. It pushing it to 5. I think might be the actual current life cycle of an average console.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. PSVR 2 is not coming out until roughly Q1 of next year.
Yeah, we think.
Fine. That means that at that point, the PS5 is going to be 2.5 years old.
Is it going to be a PS5 Pro?
Possibly, but what I'm actually thinking is I don't know if I want to purchase into an ecosystem just for 2 years.
So did you not
Like-
buy a Quest?
Oh, that is a good point. That is a very good point.
You got 9 months out of your Quest before the Quest 2 came out and fucking blew it away.
Yes, I don't disagree with you of that. But here's the thing. I'm not sure how many... Like, at the moment, the Quest ecosystem is flourishing. We can all agree with that, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I have access to my PC VR library, which is not flourishing, but there is still some really cool shit coming out on there. When the PSVR 2 comes out, I'm not certain there's going to be a lot of games available day one.
No.
And I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of games available at year one. So thinking that we aren't going to get a huge library over the first year. I'm not saying there won't be a huge library eventually. I hope there will be. But PS5, by the time PSVR 2 comes out, it's going to be 2.5 years old. By the time we get to its first anniversary, it's going to be 3.5 years old.
Oh, I see
If we say that the PS5 has a lifespan of, say, 5 years, and I think that's being generous, that means by the time that there is even a remotely reasonable sized library, the PS5 is going to be outdated.
I hate your logic, but you're absolutely right.
Like, I wouldn't buy a PC unless I knew that it was upgradable to the extent that it was going to last me X amount of years.
Yeah.
PCs are slightly different, obviously, and yes, I know they become outdated faster than consoles because they're PCs. I'm used to that. I've been used to that for a very long time. But yeah, like the logic there. I hope I'm wrong.
No, actually, your logic is something I've never thought about. It's very insightful. You by the time the PSVR 2 has built up a decent library, there'll be a PS6 and
a Pro.
And the PSVR 2 is now going to be in the same place as the PSVR because VR is going to have moved on 2 years and there's going to be something else which we don't really know about at the moment. There might be like hand tracking will take away the need for controllers, face tracking, eye tracking, full body tracking in like built into a headset, so you can have VR chat avatars all in just something you put on your face. We don't know.
See, obviously, like the Quest 2 came out a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And in that time, we have seen it evolve purely through software.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it has evolved a lot.
Oh my God,
they've done a lot with it.
It's a completely different system now.
So I'm hoping that Sony are going to be able to do the same with the PSVR 2. Like they've put some sort of extended hardware in there that they're not necessarily utilizing fully at this point in time or in a year's time when it comes out, that they will be able to build upon and evolve over the course of time. The problem is that's not what Sony does.
No.
Because they're not in there for the experimentation. They're in there to provide a product that works, that does the job as it's meant to on day one.
Right. I'm gonna include something here which I literally just read today. So if you're not aware, Xbox obviously make consoles, but if a game is available on Xbox, it's available on PC via the Xbox gaming app. If you have the Game Pass. So apparently, so you got to bear with me here. Apparently, Sony are looking at doing the same thing. They are employing people to make sure that. I think what they're trying to do is protect themselves, because what Xbox did was really clever. You can now play Xbox games without owning an Xbox console, and it's not Xbox consoles that they make money on; it's games. So, for example, again, going back to this, my wife bought me that to play Halo Infinite. I don't have an Xbox console. I can stream it to my phone. Yeah? So they still get the game sale, but I don't have an Xbox console. So Sony are looking now into doing the same thing, which they don't. They don't have any PC compatibility. But they've obviously realised that they need to do that because the future of gaming is going to be owning a controller, owning the Xbox Game Pass so you can play the game on your phone. Yeah, you have to get... Right, where am I going with this? So, PSVR 2 is linked to your console, the PS5, and in a year's time, there will be a library of games. In a year's time, PlayStation will move to PC VR. PlayStation will move to PC in the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem.
So cloud streaming.
Yeah, so you will be able to play your PS5 games on PC with a controller or on your phone or whatever. The point I was trying to make was PSVR 2 needs to be able to do PC VR as well. It has to.
Yeah,
to
you've said this a lot.
We've said this before, right? So this headset, right? Sony has spent a lot of money on this headset. It has the pancake lenses, it has the micro OLEDs, it has the face eye tracking, foveated rendering, as we've talked about so many times on the podcast, is going to change VR forever, because you do not need a super powerful PC to run really good VR if you have eye tracking and foveated rendering, which the PSVR 2 does. Now, transpose that a year down the line, the PSVR 2 has a decent library. They released their PC VR app, game streaming, like Xbox does, like Stadia does, Google Stadia. Why would they not then do VR streaming via a PC?
Or, here's the thing. You can do your Game Pass through your phone.
Yeah, I can.
Yep. So then what if Sony just don't... What if I'm wrong about the life cycle of the PS5? What if they do move to that same model and they just scrap their library of hard games, like discs and things and actual downloads, and just make it a cloud streaming thing where the hardware for the PS5 is going to be more than man enough in order to run it, in which case you can still run your PSVR 2 directly through that, hooked up to a cloud service.
Fucking genius.
There you go. We've solved it.
We've solved
Let's
it.
go on, boys.
Solved it. Right. Cut. Done.
You're going to ruin your...
We have just solved gaming. It's going to a cloud service. and then you don't have to buy a console.
Right, so when I was 19, 20, so we're going back 15 years at least here. There was a cloud gaming service, and this was way before the infrastructure was anywhere near in place to run a cloud gaming service. And I remember reading about it, seeing it, what they were offering, and I was absolutely blown away. The idea of it was phenomenal. And I made a bet with somebody because I was so hyped for this that I made a bet with somebody for £200, which was a lot more money back then, obviously, than it is now.
Obviously, yeah.
I made a bet for £200 that said within 30 years that not within 30 years, within 10 years, sorry, that cloud gaming services were going to be the future. Now, luckily, I haven't seen this person in 10 years because I now owe them £200 because it wasn't there in the 10-year lifespan. But
he's in my chat. Just send the £200 to me, and
no,
I'll
he's
sort it
definitely
out.
not in your chat. Trust me. If that guy came into this chat, I would kick him the fuck out. Anyway. So as far as this, although I was wrong on the time scale, I am still certain that this is the future of gaming, and Microsoft are proving it over and over again. I was really excited when Stadia came around. I thought that was going to be a huge thing. I actually own a Stadia controller, but mainly because I bought it for cheap because it came with a Chromecast Ultra. And someone was selling it for like 50 quid for the starter pack, and I was like, fuck yeah, free controller and a Chromecast Ultra, yes please. And I tried it and it works, but it's expensive as all hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, carry on.
No, you carry on. I was just going to dive straight back into more gibberish.
The thing that Xbox got so right is that if you have Game Pass, then you get it for free. And Game Pass is a fucking no-brainer. If you're a gamer, you pay £25 a month and you get all of the Xbox games for free. And you can stream them to your phone. And you can stream them to your tablet. And you can stream them to your television if you have a Google or if you have a smart TV. You know, and all of the Xbox controllers that released after a certain date have Bluetooth built in, and it just works. I mean, it's still not perfect, even with a strong Wi-Fi signal and, you know, whatever. You still get a little bit of stutter, but that's not the main reason for having the Xbox Game Pass if you have an Xbox console. Stadia, on the other hand, was a cloud streaming service. So you had to subscribe, and then you had to buy all the games that you already owned on Xbox, or if you had them on PlayStation, you had to do it again. I don't understand why Stadia just didn't do like a subscription service. But it was fucking... Yeah. I mean, that's actually the reason I didn't buy. And I have friends who did buy Stadia, and they were like, within a couple of weeks, they were like, "No, this is shit. It's shit. It doesn't work, and you have to buy all your games again. Fuck that."
Because I was considering at the time, like, I didn't have a powerful enough. I didn't know whether my laptop was going to run Cyberpunk, so I was considering buying Cyberpunk on Stadia.
Nobody's laptop can run Cyberpunk.
Actually, as it turns out, mine ran it really damn well. It turns out a 2080 Super does run Cyberpunk reasonably well. But I was seriously considering purchasing that through Stadia just so that I was going to get a reasonably good experience. But as it turns out, Stadia were charging £20 extra than anywhere else for that game. And I was like, absolutely fucking not.
No, they fucked up there. They totally fucked up.
Here's the question, okay? I know we're moving away from VR, but eventually cloud gaming service is going to be the future of VR. Yeah, it has to be.
We've got Plutosphere already.
Yeah, which I don't know if have you actually tried Plutosphere?
No, you have.
I have, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No,
it's okay.
The technology needs to catch up. In 10 years,
I managed to play Half-Life Alyx on a PC 2,000 miles away. Like, that's impressive to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, as I said. But anyway, here's the question. There was an announcement this week saying that Netflix are going to be adding adverts into their subscription service.
Yes.
Netflix are the forerunners of subscription services.
Yes.
So how long do we think it's going to be before we start seeing adverts in other subscription services, specifically games subscription services?
Okay, it won't happen, because what if they introduce? If I'm paying for Netflix, if they introduce adverts, I'm going to cancel my subscription.
The thing is it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about, not me and you, but I mean as a collective of VR, specifically Quest owners,
Yeah.
we were talking about them bringing in adverts into our games.
Yes. So, do you remember what happened? It was
What everybody
What was the game?
screamed bloody murder.
No, Blaston. It was Blaston.
It was Blaston, yes.
Blaston was tested, right? And Blaston got flooded with 0-star reviews. And the devs were like fucking desperately saying, every single 0-star review they got, they said, this decision has been reversed. We do apologize, blah, 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 blah. And it just went away. It just went away.
Yeah.
So that was consumer power. So if Netflix say they're going to introduce adverts to their streaming service, which I pay a premium for, I'm going to cancel it. Fuck them. I don't care. There's nothing on there that I need to watch. There's nothing on there that I desperately need to watch, unless it's Halo, that I can't get on Amazon or Sky or pay a little bit of money. If I want a film, I can pay $5.99 to watch a film. Fuck them off. I understand what you're talking about. This is like, it's advertising and data that makes money for companies, but we need to kind of resist it. We need to resist it.
Okay, apparently current users won't get ads unless they go for one that has adverts. So is there going to be a cheaper service where you can have adverts?
Oh, right, yeah.
Which is theoretically fine until they keep that advert price at the same. So let's say £4 a month or whatever. And they keep fucking putting the other price up and up and up and up. Because Netflix is already one of the most expensive subscription services available right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We are completely off topic, though. We are completely off of the VR side of things.
We are. We've been talking for 2.5 hours. Do you think this is a good time to cap it off?
I think it is, because I'm just going to end up jabbering more and more and more shit.
It's been a good cast. It's been a good cast. I've enjoyed it. There's been plenty of chat. We've got loads of people watching. It's been absolutely brilliant. So I think we should sign off there.
I agree. It has been wonderful, people. I have enjoyed your company. I hope that you've enjoyed ours. Mac, anything you want to say at the end?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Obviously, this is just two guys talking shit, and it's lovely that there's been so much chat. There's been so many people watching. We actually dual stream now, so you can go and watch this on PowerOn's channel, or you can watch it on my channel. It's up to you. Just get involved.
Doesn't bother us as long as people are here to watch us.
As long as you get involved in the chat, you get the same experience. Right, so I'm going to sign off.
I've been Shooey.
He's been Shooey. I've been Mac In VR. We'll see you on the other side.
Laters taters.
Bye, guys.